I'm also saying good morning. So now we'll move to the further. Online students, am I audible to you people? Right. So now we will move to the further. So previous class, so we already started with multi-threading. There is a part of it. So here, threading, as a part of the threading, come in. So we learned types of applications, process-based applications and thread-based applications. What process-based applications will do, what thread-based application will do, we learned it. And at the same time, we already learned it. Introduction to thread-based applications. What is the thread-based application purpose? Definition of thread and advantage of going for multiple threads. Purpose of thread, less execution time. Definition of thread I said. Purpose of thread also I said. In thread-based application, only default thread is available. What will happen? Programmatically, when multiple threads are there, what will happen? I already said in the last session. Now it is the time to move to the further sessions, further topic now. Yesterday, we did some examples also in the class. So there we have seen the default thread name. Default thread name we found out by using threading dot current thread dot name. And the default thread name is printed. And another one is also done. Default thread flow also explained how the default thread flow will be there. Three functions are available. Three different functions I called here. Each function and all the functions, how they are executing. With line by line, I shown you that. At the same time, the internal flow of these threads also discussed. How that flow will be done with threading. Threading created three threads and we dispatched them. We'll explain in detail about that. And this is an internal flow of threads we got it. And now we want to show you the execution time students today. So actually tomorrow yesterday I was about to complete, but time was not suitable. Now I'm going to show you program for demonstrating the default thread, the sequential execution. It is nothing but one by one execution. Only with which thread? Default thread. What is the name of the default thread? Come on. Main. So main thread. Main thread will provide what type of execution? Sequential execution. Will it provide concurrent execution? No. It cannot provide concurrent execution. So I'm going to take students two functions here. PEF square which takes LST. There I'm writing one function. One more function I will take it. Cube. LST it will take. Cube. I'm taking LST. So there I'm writing a main program. So there I'm writing LST is equal to some values I'm taking 2, 5, 16, 17 and minus 19 and some 23 and some 3 and then some 14. Like this I'm taking something like some 8 I'm taking. These are my values students. Here I'm writing print. I'm writing program execution started. Already written yesterday. Program execution started by, I'm writing there, dot format of threading dot current underscore thread dot what name I'm going to write it. So execution started by. This is an execution started by. So here I'm going to write it. of 50. At the same time, execution ended by the same thing. Execution ended by same main thread only starting here. So I'm writing ended by. So this list of values, I want to calculate the squares as well as what cubes. How do you do that now? Call the square function and pass it. What is the argument I am passing? LSD. Next, I will go for after finishing this. I'm going to after finishing that. Now I'm going to write it. Cube, you write it. Cube of LSD you say. So this is a function call. Main thread only will go to the square function. Now I want to print the logic. For value in LST, for each value, complete these values are going to LST and I'm doing the calculations on it. So I'm printing there. I'm printing there. This thread name I'm printing. Thread name I'm printing. And now I'm writing here square of value I am writing is equal to result I am writing it. Format of this entire place I'm writing students. Here I'm writing this entire thing. There I'm trying to write name, comma, what I'm writing value and the value star star 2 I'm writing. Value star star 2 I'm writing. Are you following me? So this this will be given to this and this value will be given to here. This value star star 2 will be given to this place. So finally, I'm giving just one small delay time just to give you some good logic, good output purpose. I'm just saying like this. So it is showing the value by value to you. Value by value it is showing after delaying of 1 second of time. So the same thing, I'm writing the same logic here also. Same logic here also I'm writing. For cube also I'm writing. Here I will write cube of. I'll write 3 here. So this is the logic what I am having. Square function, cube function, main program, and the functions are voluntarily executed by default thread called what thread? Main thread only will execute. Now this thread will print the data. Let us see that. What is this? Uh, import threading, threading, and one more is time. Import threading, comma what? Time. So there I'm going to write it. Here I'm going to write it. Default thread time calculation. That is time calculation with the default thread. With default thread, default thread flow dot py. So this I'm going to execute. First see the output of it. So feel that that is going to execute this one by one. One by one means what? Sequential. Try to go to the command prompt. Go to the command prompt. There I'm trying to write it. Run as administrator. Here I'm having e colon having like this Python 6 9 a.m. threads. Here I'm going to write it. Py. This is my data here. See this answer now. Program execution started by main thread and it came to the square function and printing the main thread only printing the total result. After finishing that, it went to the cube. E is missing over there. So finally, it is going to give you the result. So how much time is taken to execute these functions? That is called carrying our time complexity we can call. What do you mean by time complexity? Amount of time taken by the program is called time complexity. If you are BTech CSC student, if you are BTech CSC student, there is a subject called DSA. The extension to the DSA is called DA, Design and Analysis of Algorithms. So even నేను కూడా ఇది I almost this is my PhD subject. This is my PhD subject. I like this subject very much. So నాకు ఇది నిద్రలో కూడా గుర్తుంటది ఇది. I may forget Python, but this is my favorite subject. So this DSA is containing up to where graphs, DFS, BFS, only graphs, stacks, queues, linked list, types of linked lists, trees, types of trees, balanced trees, binary search trees, B trees, and AVL trees. Heap is comes under sorting techniques. Sorting techniques. 16 sorting technique. One of the sorting technique is heap sort. Under that max heap, min heap, with hash tables, with buckets, with address calculation, open hashing, closed hashing mechanisms. Adi, that too, not theory. These are completely programming. But what you people learned it, I don't know whether you learned theory also correct or not. I don't know. What you learn is just in the air, no coding. So extension to the DSA, greedy programming, 0 by 1 knapsack problem, traveling salesman problem. Next is called what? Dynamic programming, 0 by 1 traveling salesman, Kruskal's algorithm, Prim's algorithm. Next is called NP hard, NP complete, Cook's theorem, N Quinn's problem, red block trees, block array trees, sets related problems, all these things, and many more. Now, if we go to that, in this case, in this case, now I'm going to say there is a time complexity is there. In that, big O notation, small o notation, omega notation, theta notation. These are the notations for calculating time complexities. Order of n, max, worst case, best case, and average case. I don't know whether you learned this or not. I don't know. They are very, very important. How to calculate? Since you are belongs to my Python class, I'm telling about Python related function. I'm going to tell you. By using those analysis of algorithms, time complexities, there is a module called time. Before going to start my program, there is a function name called time. Time is a function present into time module. Time module dot time off, which will give you the beginning time. Wherever I am calling, I decided to find out the execution time of my program. Before starting my program, I will record the timing, system time. I will record my system time. In terms of what it will record, milliseconds of time it will record. Right. Now I'm going to take at the end also I'm going to take it. End also. It is called what? Ending time. I'll come to the class at 9:15, for example. Completing at 10:45. The difference of the time is called what? Ending time minus beginning time will give you the amount of time which I took the class. Like that. Ending time I'm going to take it. ET. ET I'm going to take it. What is this now? Beginning time and ending time. What I'm going to talk about there? Total execution time. Total execution time. Total execution time. Execution time. With the default thread. With the default thread is equal to dot format of what? ET minus BT. ET minus BT. Ending time minus beginning time is called like this. Hmm? So, Rakesh, many people felt it is one of the toughest subject. Yes, it is the toughest subject. So that's the toughest subject. Whichever is toughest, you have to learn well. This is talent, right? So try to get always that feelings. Whichever is tough, we have to learn very easily that. And we have tried the coding also. అందులో ఏమీ లేదు. There are three secrets are there. The or DSA deals with pointers. The two, root pointer dot address data, root pointer dot address, self-referential pointers. If you know that, things are easy. Even when I'm learning, beginning, what my sir said, nothing I understood. Nothing I understood. Even nobody understood in the class. OU campus, B. Sir said something we did not understand because Sir will write in a piece of paper. He will write and see the paper and he will explain. We never understand. He said something we never understand. And I look for my senior, who is the best senior. All seniors are best only, but best of best we need to. One senior is that I found that there is one senior who knows data structures well. I found that when we are in first year, he was in third year. He will not come to the college. I don't know why he will not come to the college. Rarely he will come because he understood what is the college already. That's why he won't come to the college. So one day he came. I found that and I asked him. So actually, he came during ragging time. When we were the student, there is a ragging. At this time, no ragging is there. So very severe ragging is there. So that time he came once and then he came later. I asked him, brother, I don't understand. Can you explain? He said, later I will explain. He said, when you will you won't come to the college. One day he came. I asked him, brother, if you don't explain, we will definitely fail in the subject. Is it like that much tougher? He said, yes. Tell. He said he is in the bus stop. I gave my pen and paper. He explained for half an hour about self-referential pointer, dot data, arrow data, arrow address, star dot pointer dot data, star dot pointer dot address. He explained well. He asked me to write one example also. I wrote it. Then I understand perfectly. That perfect. My senior is there in my brain. My subject is also there in my brain. Subject is some, but senior, that person who said, really God for me. Sir also will not explain like that. But where he learned, I don't know. So, like that, you have to look into. Anyhow, the story is very interesting. Now move to the further. Execute. Execute this now. Here I'm going to say PY here. So see that now. It's time recorded in the beginning and ending also. Have you contacted any of your senior during your college days? Hmm? Emma? Contacted your seniors? So tell me. Contacted any of your seniors? Okay. Now come. 18.01. 18.01 is the time taken it. Is this much time. This is called what? Main thread execute this separately. Cube executed separately. One by one, this much time is taken. This is known as what? Total amount of time. See that it differs small milliseconds of amount of time. This is the time taken to complete my entire flow. First square is complete. One by one is doing that. That's why it is taking that much amount of time. Now I will go for same thing. I will go with what? I will go for what? With subthreads, I will go for it. Subthreads means what? Here one person is doing both the operations one after the other. Definitely takes more time. So what I will do is I will call one friend. I will call one friend to do the square. I will call one more friend to do what? Cube. Both of them will do simultaneously. I'll get the simultaneous answer and I will see the timing of it. So go to the place, same program, I will write with subthreads. Go to that, subthreads I'm going to enter. Very easy, students. Coming to this place, here I'm going to write program for the demonstrating the concurrent execution, concurrent execution by which threads? Subthreads. By subthreads. Along with what? Along with which thread? Main thread. Main thread also will be there. Time calculation with subthreads. With subthreads. Flow. I'm going to write it. Same to same. Square is same. Cube is same. Not changing anything. Here I'm going to change. Create two subthreads. two subthreads. Why two subthreads? For executing two functions. One function, one thread. One function, one thread. So T1 is equal to last class threading dot thread of, I will write it, target is equal to square. Target is equal to square. That means a T1 is targeted to execute the square. While it is going to square, you need to send an argument called what? LST. I will write it. Another type of keyword argument called what? Args is equal to, I will write LST, comma. You have to send that argument in the form of tuple. You have to send in the form of tuple. This is a tuple format. Beginning days you learned it. Beginning days మీకు గుర్తుంటది. So this is called, if you go to that py if I go here, if we go a is equal to of 10. What is the type? What is the type? Hmm? Come on, easy kada. What is the type? What is the type? Hmm? ఏ మాటలు రావా? What is the type? మాటలు రావా? కాన్ఫిడెంట్ లేదా? Confidence is not there. It is an int type. It is an int type. It is not a tuple type. Tuple type is called like this. This is what I said. It is called a tuple. This I said already in the beginning days. So data types are so powerful for you. Arguments always supposed to send in the form of tuple. Sir, why only in the form of tuple? Because once if I am passing an argument, it is a constant value. Understand or not? Once if I am sending sweets to my friend who is there in Bangalore, I will not give sweets directly to him. I will pack it. See, I will give keep proper packet and will give. That packet is supposed to be breakable by that person. Huh? No, it is called what? Immutable object I will give to him. That is what I am saying. Immutable object args will take here. That data, how it is working, T1 is targeted to go to square by taking the value called what? Args here. So this will be taking there. T1 will go to square. And this square will receive the value called LST and starting the flow. Similar manner, create what again? Create what again? T2. T2 you created. Threading dot. What is this now? Cube of same thing I will take it. So students, this point you take it, these two things created, ready to execute. Now I am going to say what? Dispatch the subthreads. Dispatch the subthreads. T1 dot start and T2 dot start. T1 dot start, T2 dot start. And students, you don't worry about it. Something I am writing, join the subthreads. You don't worry about it. Something I am writing, students. You don't worry about it. T1 dot join. I will explain to you right now. Don't worry. T2 dot join. For certain reason, I wrote it and don't worry. Same. Timing is more. Timing is less. Timing is starting. Ending time also recorded. Total execution time by what? Subthreads. Subthreads. Subthreads is equal to. Subthreads is equal to. There I am writing it. Subthreads is equal to et dot what, beginning. Are you able to follow now? So coming to the point back here, so I wrote it here. Try to execute this entire thing and try to see this time. Actually, it is big length in coding compared to our previous, but threads are very fast in execution. Let us save this now. Let us save this code. Here you execute it, exit off. Previous program anyhow you executed. Previous program anyhow you executed. It was taken around. So Ragnadeep is asking sleep of one. One means 1 second. Already said now. Where I said, where I said destructors only I said. Destructor time only I said. Forgetting and coming to the class is of no meaning. So execution time with the default thread is equal to like this. Py. Here I am writing time calculation with the subthreads flow.py. So how many threads are going to simultaneously gives the result? Two. Thread 1, thread 2, thread 1, thread 2 is going on giving. See that carefully. Thread 1, thread 2, thread 1, thread 2. Yesterday only I said multiple threads whose default name is what? Thread 1, thread 2. What the timing? 9.01. What are the default threads here? 18 point. What are the thread here? 9 point. So which one is the faster? Threads are fastest execution. The total conclusion says that when you are going to develop thread-based application and process-based applications, thread applications are fastest application. Twitter you take it, Facebook you take it, Instagram you take it, any type of servers you take it, all of them are containing which concept? That's why we are having all apps you take it, all ATMs you take it, internet banking you take it. Total thing behind that there is a threading mechanism is available. So threads are very faster than what? Normal programming, what you have seen it. So which one is the faster one? Threads. Threads are the fastest one. Are you able to follow now? So thread is doing its own job. Thread 2 is going to do its own job. Parallelism is going on. In the same program, two subprograms are available. Two subprograms in the form of threads are available. That is why thread-based applications are called what? Lightweight components they are called. When I come to this introduction to thread-based applications are called what? Thread-based applications takes what time? Less execution time, which is a very, very important. So people will ask you tomorrow, how do you justify threads are very fast? You have to show this type of program with the timing measurement and all. Are able to follow? So anything when you are going to say, it should have practical mechanism and practical proof for that. So is my voice is clear now? Is it clear now? Well, so I hope that now it is clear. So sometimes small things. So all apps, all ATMs, all net bankings, all internet apps, all internet web applications are using what? Threads. You need not write thread programming. Threads are already present in the existing software itself. But having an idea about multi-threading is mandatory because when you go to big product-based companies, this threading will be using. Understand? Let us go to the next entering into module name required for developing. I am entering now module name required for developing, required for developing, required for developing thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. Module name required for developing thread-based applications. Now I'm going to discuss here. Very, very simple. Module name required for developing thread-based applications. Very, very simple. What is the module name? Threading. So the module name, so the module name required for developing thread-based applications is threading. So what is the definition of module? Is threading. Threading. So that threading I want to enter. So now I am going to discuss about threading. So the threading module contains, come on, module contains, what module contains? Variable names, that too global variable names, global variable names. Here I will write global variable names. Next up, hmm, good, function names and yes, and class names. The class names. Now I need to tell about what are the global variable names present? What are the function names present? I want to discuss in detail. So learning about threading is nothing but learning about its global variables and everything. Easy. So I'm going to talk about module name. First, I will write module name. So module name is threading. Important. What are the functions inside of it? Now I'm writing functions. Global variables also I will tell you students. Don't worry. What are the functions in that? And the next is called what it contains. Class name one. Class name one. Class name one. Class name one. So which is containing what class name? Thread class is present. There is a class name two also present students. Class name two also will present. What the class name two there? Class name two is there called what? Lock class is present. Thread class as well as lock class. Once it is a class, what class will contain? Class ఏముంటాయి ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఎవరు చెప్పింది ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ అని అంత మొద్దులు మొత్తం ఏం లేదు అసలు నథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్ విత్ యూ సో హియర్ go to the whoops go to the whoops there is a class here notes class concept syntax for defining a class class contains ఇవి ఉంటాయి క్లాస్ లో క్లాస్ కంటైన్స్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ కాదు మొత్తం ఇంటర్నేషనల్ బ్యాచ్ అక్కడ సో క్లాస్ కంటైన్స్ వాట్ ఐ సెడ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఇట్లా గుర్తుండిపోవాలి అట్లా ఇట్లా ఐ సెడ్ so special excellent I said this type of syntax as example pin to point explained. So here you come to this, what are the functions present in the module? Now I am writing, there are some functions are there. What is the first function? Current underscore thread of, this is the first function. Second function is called what? Active underscore counter. Active underscore counter. These are the functions available with me. What is meant by current thread? Now I want to write the explanation. Already you know this function. You know one thing you remember students, once you know functions well, everything is easy in Python. What is the use of current thread? This function is used for obtaining the name of the thread. Obtaining the name of the thread which is currently executing. Obtaining the name of the thread which is currently executing. Executing. So what is the syntax? Now I am writing the syntax. What is the syntax here? Thread, or I will write variable name is equal to threading dot. It is a function in the module. This module threading dot. What is the function name? Current underscore thread of threading dot current underscore thread. Then this will return some information. Let me show you the example for you. Example I am going to show you. Program for demonstrating. I am explaining the functionality of the module. Program for demonstrating the default thread. Okay. Import threading already written in yesterday's class only. Now I am writing some t is equal to threading dot current underscore thread. There I am writing print of what t. I am writing t. Threading dot current underscore thread. Print of t. So when I am writing t, it will print some information about the thread. So what information it is going to come? One is called main thread, it will come. Plus you will get started. Some number will come, student. 1, 2, 3, some 6, 7, 8, like that one number will come. This number is called thread ID will be, this is thread ID. Just like, for example, when any marathons or something is conducted, the person who is participating in the running race will have a number in the neck or not. That number is called what? for that running race. That is an ID of that particular person. Like that, when the thread is getting started executing, for the memory management purpose, it creates some type of ID. There is no use of that ID for the programmer specially. So it will print main thread name plus one ID will print. One ID will print. Let me execute now. Here I am writing current underscore. I am writing here current current underscore thread. So here I'm writing current thread example dot py. So try to run this. So here you go for it. 9 a.m. under the threads. There you try to save this code and try to observe it. Now I'm going to this command prompt py current underscore thread. It is printed what main thread as well as what started. This is called a thread ID. You try to run again, ID will change once again. This remains same, but ID will be different. If I run again different ID will come, but it remains same. So how do you get this data from this information? You know, in the beginning days, 2 plus 3j is this is complex object. From this complex object, I want to get only real part. How do you get it? A dot real, you will get it. A dot imag, you will get it. Imag. So this will give you 2.0. This will give you what 3.0. Similarly, I'm going to get it what? Main thread, I want to get it. How do you get the main thread? Here, there is one thing called what? This is the one we are getting it. To get the name of the thread, anyhow, this is going to come over here. This is the one which is coming over here. This is what I'm going to get it. From that, I want to get only this main thread. For that, there is an attribute called what? Dot name. Dot name. You will get dot name. Dot name will give you what? This type of value will be coming. So try to run this now. Execute it. What is coming? Main thread. From here, it is going to give you main thread. I think you are getting me. So, in simple word, rather than writing this entire thing, you can also write simply like this. Also, you can mention it. Like this, also, you can mention students. How do you write it? Print off. What you can write it? T dot. You return T dot name. In place of T, what I can write it? This one I can write it. I can write this part. Dot what I can write it? Dot name I can write it. Dot name. Dot name I can write it. Execute it. See students, you execute it and you got what? Same answer as what? Main thread. So from now onwards, you can understand to get the default thread or any thread which is under execution, call the current thread. Dot what? Name. Name is called one type of attribute. Like a row count attribute is there in the cursor object, complex object, real and what? IMAC. Like that, you can use dot name, which is going to give you the thread name it is going to come. I hope you are following me. Done. Now, how many threads are there here? How many threads are there? Every Python program by default contains how many threads? Come on. One thread. What is its name? Main thread. How do you find the name of the thread? How do you find the name of the thread? For that, the function name is active underscore. Come on. Count. So here I am going to write it. Current underscore thread dot what? Name. So name. This will give you name of the thread. So here I am going to write it. Here name is one of the predefined attribute in threading. In threading. Now I'm going to say. Now I'm going to move to the further. Still more about the name I will explain very shortly. Go to the active underscore count students. So here I'm going to write a new program. So there I'm trying to take up. So here I'm writing program for finding number of threads running number of threads are running in Python program. So I'm writing that in Python program. So how do you write this now? I'm saying threading, import threading. Directly I'm writing there number of threads which are actively running. Number of threads which are actively running, is equal to comma threading dot what count of which count active underscore count of. So there I'm going to take up. So here I'm writing active count example dot py. So try to run it. It will print the answer called what? One you will get it. One. Are you getting me? One. Why one? What is the name of active thread? Print of active thread name. Which thread is active? Active thread name is equal to what? Madhubabula, come on. Threading dot current underscore thread, current underscore thread of dot what? Name. So that is going to print. That is going to print name of the thread plus number of active threads which are actually running, which are actively running, which are actively running. So I hope that this is more clear about this explanation. So the two functions are available. Go to this place. Here I am writing. What is this use? This function is used for. This function is used for mm, obtaining obtaining number of threads, number of active threads. Active threads means which are running. Running. Active threads means running threads. Running threads. Running threads. Example, in the class, when you are here, some of the students are just watching like that. Some of the students are saying in the class. So the students who are saying in the class are called hmm, active threads that will be counted. Who are sitting quiet and calm, just observing whiteboard, black chalk piece, everything. All those things are just threads only, no active in that. So I hope that you got it. So I'm going to write it syntax. Syntax I'm writing. Variable name is equal to threading dot what is this now? Active underscore count. Active underscore count. So this variable name will get you the answer. Integer value will be coming. Integer value. So number of active threads is equal to like this. NOAT. NOAT. I can write it. NOAT. I can write it. So the same answer will be coming. So students, this is one thing. Go to the place. This is about functions present in which model? Threading model. Online students, is it clear? Quick, quick answer is required. Is it clear? Now I'm entering into thread class. Thread class I'm going to enter. What is the definition of class? Class is a collection of data members, methods, constructors, destructor. What is the use of constructor? తెలియదు ఇప్పుడే చూపించాం కదా సార్ టు ఇనిషియలైజ్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ initializing the multiple object with the same values default constructor, initializing the multiple objects of same class with the different values parameters constructor. What is the use of destructor? అసలు మీరు ఎందుకు అసలు to deallocate the memory space of the current program objects by calling destructor internally. So destructors are the part of GC. When the program execution completed, the allocated created objects will be deallocated by calling at the end of the program GC, where GC in turns contains what code? Destructor code. Explained everything, but not saying why. Sir, వింటే మీరు చెప్పలేరా? Can't you express once you listen the class? When do you get that skill set? When do you get that? So yesterday in 6 o'clock, one student is in third year, BTech, third year. So those students came. In that college, BTech third year JNTU, Python completed in 1 week. Python completed in 1 week. 1 week, Python completed. And now they are coming. When I say Python 3 months, they virtually came, and college name I don't want to say because it's not correct. So 1 week, Python is completed. Data types int float. Int means integer, float means float. 1 week completed. Great, na? Really? Grandfather of Guido van Rossum. So, students, that is what present education system is. Anyhow, come to the thread class. If you don't answer even after explaining, really I feel a lot, so that you have to understand. So, as a part of thread, we are having, I'm writing the things you need to follow me. What is the class name? Thread class. What is the use of thread class? First of all, what is the use of thread class? Just you have seen a slight importance. What is the use of thread class here? What is the use of thread class here? You just tell me. T1, object created with which class? So T1 is called what? Subthread creation. What is the T2 is called? Subthread creation. By using which class? What is the use of thread class? The purpose of thread class is to create subthreads. Why are you creating subthreads? For getting concurrency. Concurrency meaning is simultaneous execution. For that, I will create an object of what? Thread class. In that, we are having, I will write some methods here. Some methods, I will write it. First one, if you tell this now, you are great. Thread of, thread of, target, comma, arcs. What is this? You tell me enough. ఇది చెప్తే మీరు గ్రేట్ అసలు. If you tell, if you tell this, you are great. If you tell, you are great. మీకు మిమ్మల్ని అడిగేది. ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ యూ ఓన్లీ. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. మధుబాబులు, అదే కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. అది అది దాన్ని ఏమంటారు అంటే కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అంటారు. సో గో టు దట్ క్లాస్ టెస్ట్, క్లాస్ టెస్ట్ డిఈ ఆఫ్ అండర్ స్కోర్ ఇనిట్ init underscore of what? Self comma target comma arcs, target comma arcs. So ila something is there. This is for example. What I am doing is I will go for what? T1 is equal to test of target is equal to something. I will write it. Something I'll write it, comma arcs is equal to something. I will write it. What is this line is called? Object creation. Calls what? Makes the PVM to call what? Makes the PVM to call. Makes the PVM to call what? Parameterized constructor. అదే కదా నేను చెప్పింది కదా. అంతే కదా. So test of, by looking at this test of, when I say like that, it is called like this. Okay, మీరు అది పక్కన పెట్టండి కొద్దిసేపు. ఏ కామా బి, ఏ కామా బి. వాట్ ఐ వాస్ పాస్డ్ హియర్ 10 కామా 20. వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్? పారామీటరైజ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. ఇలా కూడా రాసాం కదమ్మా. T2 is equal to T2 is equal to B is equal to 1000. A is equal to 2000. I wrote like this also now. What is that? Parameterized constructor only. Parameterized constructor. By seeing that or by seeing both of them, one can decide what type of constructor it is. నేను అదే చెప్పేది, పారామీటరైజ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అని. సో నేను చెప్పేది అదే, నేను చెప్పేది మీరు చెప్పేది. That you have to answer it here. That you have to answer it here only. What is my class name? Thread of target comma args. What is it? Parameterizer constructor. Parameterizer constructor. This is what where I covered that in the default and parameters constructor I covered. So if you remember all these things, if you read the notes, you will get it. Thread of args. Next, I will go for the methods. Start method. Start method. Next, there is one more thing called what set name. Set name of str. Next is called get name. Get name. Next is called is underscore alive. Is underscore alive. Next is called join. 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 These are the functions present in where? Thread class. So we need to understand about thread of target comma. One by one you need to understand. They are very easy, not a difficult. So I'm going to take up one by one here. Carefully try to understand. So first one I'm going to talk about syntax. What is the syntax here? Hmm. Variable name is equal to threading dot threading dot thread of thread of what is that now? Target target is equal to what should I pass it? Hmm? Class name. Madhu function name or what? Method name. Method name. Method name. Why method name? I can do with object oriented programming multi-threading. I can do functional programming multi-threading. So here if you look at my example, these are called functions. These are called my functions. These are called my functions. I wrote target is equal to function name. I can write a method name also. I can keep these things in the classes. I can write a method name also. So here I'm trying to say target is equal to this subthread should target to which function or should execute which method. That method name or function name you need to write. While if any method is taking parameter, if any method is taking parameter here, see LST is a parameter. When it is taking parameter, it is your responsibility of the subthread to carry the argument. Already you learned in the arguments concept. You need to pass the argument. So T1 will go to the square by carrying the LST value here. So that it go to the function square carrying the LST values what you are supplying that will be carried here. These values will be carried going there and doing the process. Suppose if the method is not taking any parameter over there, just you will write only target is equal to welcome and you never write what? Args you don't write it. When you will not write args? When it is not taking any parameter. That time I'll write only target. That time we don't write args. So go to the place now. So here I'm going to write it. Variable name is equal to threading dot thread of target is equal to function name. Args is equal to in the tuple bracket you need to write value 1 comma value 2 comma so on. I will write what? Value n I will write it. So I hope that this is more clear. I think so. Here I am writing this constructor. This constructor is used for initializing the subthread. Initializing the subthread. Constructor is used for initializing the subthread in such a way that the subthread to in such a way that the subthread should execute the subthread must execute the target function target function by carrying the args value args value provided args value args value when the function takes parameter provided I will write continuously provided function takes what parameter function takes parameter or s. If it is taking two values, I will write args is equal to value 1 comma value 2. If it won't take any kind of parameter in the function, I don't mention what? Arguments. So in simple words, in simple words, the above syntax, the above syntax, mm, above syntax creates subthreads, create a subthreads and initializing which target function to execute, which value to carry to the definition. That is the meaning of this syntax. So here, example if I take it, example if I take it, T1 is equal to threading dot thread of target is equal to welcome, target is equal to welcome, no parameter required. T2 is equal to T2 is equal to threading dot thread of thread of target is equal to, I will write it square I will write it. So I'm going to write it, comma, arcs is equal to, I will pass the values. How you can pass the values? కావాలంటే ఇట్లా పాస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. Like this, comma, I can write it. What is this entire thing is called? ఏమది? List. List. That is called a list. Where I used this? In my functions, if you say, I passed list data, tuple data, set data, many values I set to decide the type of value you are passing. Beginning after the functions, when you open it, you will be coming to know that this is called list data passing in the form of what? Tuple argument here. This is comes under here no args concept because welcome is not taking any function, but square is taking what? Parameter is taking. So here T1 and T2 are called, here T1 and T2 are called mm, subthreads. Subthreads they are called. So I hope that this is clear about it. So how to create a subthread? By using the constructor called thread of target comma args. Right. What is the use of start function? Once you are making the subthread to create subthread creation, once you create the subthread creation, the examples are already there. These are all comes under subthread flow. Yesterday only we said here subthread creation, and subthread creation is done. And I'm coming to this dispatch here. Just take one example if you want. Take one example. Program for demonstrating, program for demonstrating subthread creation, subthread creation, and and dispatching the thread, dispatching the subthread, dispatching the subthread. Import threading, import threading. Now I'm taking compulsory one function is required. So I'm writing here greet, so saying greet. I'm saying something like a value. There I'm writing print of, writing here thread, writing here hi. I'm saying that good morning. So I'm writing here good morning. This is a message I'm going to give you. This is a message. Dot format of what? I want to print which thread is executing this greet function. Threading dot current underscore thread dot what? Name comma value. Value. Getting or not? Well, go to main program once. Main program. How do you go for it? Greet I am going to say. You say simply called what? Greet. Greet you say. Just try to execute normal program. This is no threading, nothing is there. By default, one thread only will be there. What is this now? So thread, something like thread start related. Example dot py. Subthread start. I will write subthread with the start. Execute it. No subthreads are created, right? If you execute it, which will print a default thread only. Of course, value I need to pass it. What is the value I need to pass? RS I am saying. RS. So here I'm going to get it. Main thread, hi RS, good morning. So by default, this is the default thread is executing, but I don't want to go for a default thread. I want to create my own thread. How do you create your own thread? How do you create your own subthread? T1 is equal to already చెప్పాను threading dot thread of target is equal to greet greet. Here, is it necessary to write args or not necessary? Necessary to write it because it is taking the parameter. So I need to write compulsory what? Args is equal to, I will write it here, I will write it row sum, comma, compulsory you need to write it. Why comma? To make it as what? Hmm, Tuple. Suppose if it is taking one more value, something like this when I am writing it, like this when I am taking, no need to write this comma, no need to write. Because the two values represent what? Tuple only. Since I am taking only one parameter, you will pass something like row sum, comma, you will write it. That indicates it is tuple. So, okay, done. This thread is under execution or not in execution? This line number 10, what is the line number significance? Just create it. Just create it. This is called, this is called new state అంటాడు దీన్ని. New state. Spell out new state. Class is at 9:10. Class is at 9:15, for example. So you are nearby hostel. 9 o'clock, you are keeping book ready, everything ready. Did you start it? No. Just keeping ready book and everything. You're just sitting in the room. That is called which state? New state. New state. So how I know it is a new state? Are you inside the class? No. So I'm going to find out. I will write it. Print of is I will write execution status of subthread. Execution status of subthread T1 is equal to check the execution status of subthread. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. I will use it here. There is a function name called what? Is underscore alive. Is underscore alive. Go to the place here. Is underscore alive. T1 dot is underscore alive. What it will print? False. False it will print. Are you following? Why false will print it? Just created thread. Just created thread. Ready to execute. So you execute that and see the answer now. Py. That answer you execute. What is the answer? False. False means not in running state, just created. So now I need to bring from new state to which state? Running state. Running state. New state, running state. Now I need to bring to the running state. How do you bring to the running state? You have to say start. T1 dot what? Start. T1 dot start. Once you say T1 dot start, what is the use of start now? I'm telling to T1, T1, go to your target function, execute your logic. That is called which state? Running state. When you are in the home, without reading book, you are simply sitting in the home. Your parents will say, go and read. That means they are transferring to which state? Read state, Madhu, running state. Not reading and sitting in the home is called new state. Now they are saying that go and read. There is nothing but dispatching. Dispatching. Dispatching the subthreads. Dispatching the subthread or subthreads. Students, will your parents will say go and read to you anytime? చెప్తారా? Will they say or not? మీరు చదువుకుంటారు అప్పుడు? Will you go and read? Okay. Do you have any timetable daily this time to this time reading like that? Any such timetable? మీకు ఉందా అట్లా? లేదా? So who has raised the hands? Who is having like the daily evening 7 to 10 reading? Any such timetable? You have, ma? No? You are raising the hand, I feel. No? Girls, do you have such timetable? అసలు చదువుకోరా మీరు? Boys, do you have that? You don't have? అట్లా ఎట్లా? How it is? Hmm? So present days, Pragnadeep, parents says go outside and bring something from market. Okay. Pragnadeep, is it like that? Hmm. So T1 dot start. అసలు anybody doesn't have the timetable, in my view, అసలు ఇంకా నేను చెప్పలేను నా పదాలలో. నేను చెప్పానంటే మీరు అసలు ఇంకా కింద మీద అయిపోతారు. సో మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్, my advice to all of you, my advice to all of you. So, okay, whatever is happened with you. Okay, done. Your future generation, if anything is there, you set a timetable to them. Set a timetable. This time to this time, you have to read the notes. After reading the notes, you have to conduct a test on that. And your future children, first of all, మాకు జాబ్ రావాలి కదా సార్. You may have the doubt, but somehow in future you have this plan. Let them study for 3 hours. At the end of it, half an hour test you conduct. What test? Theory, no. Fill in the blanks. Let them study textbook, not like your notebooks, materials, all in one in all like that. Set చేయండి కొంత, మనమంటే చదవలేదు. So, Jonas, wake up at 5, read, practice 6 to 8. Good boy. So, students, so నేను చెప్పాలి, నాకే భయం అవుతుంది మీకు when I want to say. But when I was in school days or in my college days, in intermediate, college people only made us to study. When I was in school, of course, you don't feel it. I will daily read for 3 hours. Daily, compulsory, I will read. Time at a time, 7 to 10, we have to read. One day, if I don't read, I used to feel something, oh, something I did wrong, like that I used to feel. Even now also, if I don't read for 2 hours or 3 hours of something, I don't feel that today something went wrong. I feel like that. So are you not doing that? Are you not doing that? How come I'm listening newly? Is everybody like that outside in your hostels? Huh? చెప్పండమ్మా. Everybody will read? No. What they will do then? Okay. So I understand one thing, not reading with a systematic time. Come. T1 dot what? Start. So once you say start function called method called with respect to T1. Start is an instance method in where thread object. T1 dot start. T1 is an object of thread class. Target function it will go and it will execute. What is the default name of the thread T1? Thread 1. Thread 1. Here T1 is object whose default name is already shown you. Default name is thread-1. Thread-1. And it is called which thread? Subthread. What is its subthread name? T1 execution status of subthread. T1 dot is alive. False. When I say T1 dot start, where it will go? It will go to this place and looks for this function. What is the answer is printing? Current thread dot name it is printed. Students, after this is created, here I will print number of threads in the program. Number of threads in program is equal to number of threads in program is equal to, come on, threading dot, what is the function name? Active underscore count. How many? Come on. How many? One or two now? One. Why one? Because it is not actively started. It is just created. It is one only. It is printing one only. That is number of active threads. Number of threads in program. Here there is a chance of two. Two will be coming. Look at that. See the answer now. Execute it. Here you see. Answer is called what? Number of threads in program 1. Execution status of thread is false. Thread 1 row sum printed. Number of threads in the program is 2. Why 2? One T1, no, one main thread. Are you following? Right. So this is going to be called what? Number of subthreads 2 is printed. So active count is printed. And here the significance of start also you understood. Go to the place and try to mention here start function. Tell me, what are the syntax? What are the syntax here? Come on. Subthread dot start. Subthread 1 dot start. Subthread 2 dot start. Like that, n number of threads, which are all the threads are there. You say start, start, start. So 2 dot start. Say here subthread n dot start. Subthread n dot start. So what this indicates? So this function is used for this method is used for dispatching the subthread, dispatching the subthread or subthreads to the to the target function, to the target function, to the target function. Are you able to follow now? That is called which function? Start function. So here I think without starting the function, you cannot getting executed. Without starting the thread, target function cannot be executed. Start function is very important. This is also more important. Did you understand this now? Now I'll go for what? Set name, get name. What are the set name and get name? That are something like what? Setters and getters we can call. Setters will do what? Change the value of the object. Getters will do what? Get the value from the object. So now I'm going to talk about it. So I will move to the further. Here I'm going to take up. What is the name of the thread? Here I said thread 1. Thread 1. Let me take up this example. Let me take it. Here I'm going to write it. Take care. Here I'm writing set get. Setters and get. Set get methods example.py. Let it be name of the thread. That part you take care. Here I'm writing print of. How do you get the name of the thread? T1 dot. What is the function name? Get name of G small, N is capital. This is the old style of the Python environment. T name. T1 dot name. Which name this is? T1 dot get name means getting the subthread. First of all, T1 is called what? Subthread object. Whose name I am going to get it. As on today, get name method deprecated. Deprecated. Deprecated means what? Changed. Deprecated. In the present version, in Python 3.12 only, this was deprecated. On the name of which attribute? Simply name attribute. Simply name attribute. They said, don't use T1 dot name. You simply use what? T1 dot simply say what? Name. That's all. Don't go to this old version here. So T1 dot simply you say name. So it will give you the name of the subthread. You will get the answer here. But what is happening? Subthread name. Subthread name. Default subthread name. Default subthread name is equal to what I'm writing? T name. T name. Try to execute. I'm not dispatching any thread or nothing. I'm not dispatching any thread. Execute. Py. Here you see deprecation warning is coming. Are you seeing this? Deprecation is nothing but what? It was already outdated. Get the name attribute instead. Actually, grammatically also this is not appropriate. And a Varak Python documentation also not prepared very well. They gave to somebody, they written their own English. What they need to write? Get name is a deprecated. Instead of get name, use name attribute. Instead of which function? Get name. Like a cricketer English, it is like a cricketer English. So it is going to give you warning. Answer is coming. What is an answer? Red one. Instead of that, here I am writing, keep comment. So here I am writing this method, this method deprecated, deprecated on the name of, on the name of, name attribute, name attribute, name attribute, here and after, here and after, instead of, instead of, which one? Instead of using, instead of using which function? Get name. We must use, we must use what? Name attribute. How to use it? Same style only. Come on, use. What you will use? Simply T dot T1 na? T1 dot what? Name. Ante. T1 dot name. So see the T1 dot name. T1 is a subthread. Dot name you execute. Earlier you got a message, deprecation warning, etc. Default name is what? Thread 1. This is going to get. So thread 1 is targeted to execute what? Greet. Getting something like that. Now I'm going to get it. How to set your name? This is a default name is coming thread 1. Thread 1 is coming. I don't want this thread 1. I want to give some thread name. I want to set. 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 Programmer defined. Programmer defined thread name. Programmer defined thread name to the subthread. To the subthread. What I will use? T1 dot set name of. I will write. I will write Pragnadeep. I will write something like Pragnadeep. Pragnadeep is a thread name. I'm setting like that. So what is happening now? What is happening now? Set. It was set. Again you print. Again you print. Set name also deprecated, student. Set name also deprecated. You will get the answer. Default subthread name after setting. After setting. You will be getting answer, but you will get deprecation warning will come. Execute now. Go to this place. Here. Answer. Deprecation warning. Set name deprecated. Set the name attribute instead. It means name, use name attribute instead of using what? Set name. So answer is coming after. Default thread name after setting is called Pragnadeep. But this is the deprecation warning. Warning should not come in the program. What you will do? Keep a comment. This method is deprecated. This method is deprecated. Where is that? This one. Deprecated. Use name attribute. Here and after, instead of what name? Set name. Instead of set name, use what? Name attribute. How to use name attribute? T1 dot name is equal to this value. T1 dot name is equal to the name of the value which you want to give. Pragnadeep. So something like I will write like this. I will write like this. You print that name now. So there is no question of deprecation warning messages. Default subthread name before setting this one. After setting this name. So this is before setting. Before setting. Before setting is equal to. This is after setting is equal to. So you got both the answers now. Before setting thread 1. After setting this is called what? Like this. So I think you are following. These are called setters and getters. How do you dispatch? Dispatch the subthread. Dispatch the subthread. How do you dispatch the subthread? T1 dot what? Start. Same. So T1 dot start, it will print the Pdeep only, Pragnadeep only. So what is that? It is saying something like this. Earlier it was printed as what? Thread 1. Now I set it. So setters and getters. So instead of saying set name and get name, simply you can go for T1 dot name get to retrieve it. Assign the value to T1 dot name, which will modify this. I think you are following me. So what are the function names here? Set name and get name. So what is the syntax here? Syntax is subthread object dot obj dot set name of, what is this now? User friendly name to the thread. User friendly name to subthread. User friendly name to subthread. Here, one more I will write it. One more I will write it. Subthread dot get name. Variable name is equal to, I will write it subthread dot get name. Actually, I need not to write, but I just want to give you. Here, set name and get name methods are deprecated. Are deprecated in present versions. In present version. And instead of using these methods, instead of deprecated in present versions, these methods, these methods are deprecated on the name of, deprecated on the name of name attribute. Name of which attribute? Name attribute. Name attribute. So what is the alternative syntax? Alternative syntax. What is the alternative syntax here? So T1 dot subthread object dot name is equal to user friendly name to the thread. User friendly name to the thread. This is for that. And one more is called what? Subthread object dot name will give, will give. This is for setting the thread. This is for setting the thread. Write it. Alternative syntaxes. This one is for what? Setting the thread. Setting the name to the thread. Setting name to the thread. This is for getting the name of the thread. Getting the name of the thread. Name of the thread. That's all. So these things I already shown in the program part. So how we set, how we get it? T1 dot name, getting the thread. T1 dot set, setting the thread. Of course, set the thread name. Set the thread name. The above one is called what here? Get the thread name. Get the thread name. So wherever I'm going to use set and getters, I'll use simply like this. And the explanation also like this. This is about the concept of what here, you know, setting and getting. Next, is alive. What is alive? This function, of course, I'll just give some gap here. Setters and getters, you got it. Set name is alive. You have seen already, students. What is the use of this now? Syntax, you tell me. Subthread object dot subthread obj dot. What is the function name? Is underscore alive. Is underscore alive. What this function will do? This function is used for checking the execution status of what thread? Subthreads. Subthreads. This function this function returns true, provided what happens? Provided the subthread is under, although you have seen the execution, the subthread is under execution. The subthread is under execution. So in detail, this function returns false provided thread is false. Is subthread is not under execution. Not under execution means before start and after start. Before start, not yet started. After start, completed. That I'll show you right now because I don't want to make it very hurry. Once new state means what? Is alive, false. Running state, what is the is alive? True. After new, ready, done. After running, it becomes halted state. Halted. Halted state means what? False. False means what? Completed the execution. Completed execution is called what? False. Before start, false. Both of them I will show in the class. Nothing to worry about it. So before this is not under execution. Before start and after start is comes under not under execution only. That I'll show you in the next moment because I don't want to make it a very hurry to tell you about this. This I will explain in tomorrow class. So tomorrow Monday class. So sharp at 9:15 we go for taking up each join and I'll do the multiple coding examples on the class. Because library is important. Library is important. All these functions you have to remember. So buttifying, nothing will come to you. You have to remember the methods. So remembering methods only important for you. Okay now. So I'll stop the class and I will Monday class. I'll complete the join and law class also will speak after doing the multiple examples on this area. Right? Carry on. Don't miss the Monday class. Thank you. Online students, if any doubts are there, you hold on. We'll discuss with you. Thank you, students. Carry on. Online students, any more doubts? Raise your hands so that I can clarify your doubts. Any, right. So you download these notes and try to practice the examples